Hey, what's going on YouTube, friends and family? My name is Princeton Brown from Sonic Gold Productions, and I'm here today to help my fellow producers understand why every day, if I don't know what to do as a producer, this is exactly why you should sit down at your laptop or your studio and just work on melodies, producing melodies. I'm going to explain 3 reasons why this is so important, especially when you get beat block and you just don't know what to produce sometimes. So stick around and check out these 3 reasons why. If you don't know what to do as a producer in your day-to-day, sit down today and just make some melodies. Let's dive in.
Sonic Gold Productions.
But before we dive in, I would like to introduce you guys to a great music production guide that I have for you. If you are someone who struggles with mixing, and we all have to work on mixing, whether you produce beats, whether you are an engineer, or whether you are an artist and you make your own music, mixing is a big part, and it's one of my specialties. I created a free guide for you guys to check out, and it's going to give you some tips for 7 things to look out for to do right before you get to the mixing stage, which is going to improve your mixes drastically. You can download that guide completely for free, link in bio, so make sure you check that out. So today I wanted to talk about, sometimes as a producer, when I'm wearing my producer hat and I'm not mixing or mastering or anything like that, so it's easy to get into beat block. So this is primarily for my producers who work in the genres of hip hop, R&B, pop, trap, urban, or urban formats of music. Generally, the soul, the core of any instrumental or any beat that we produce is the melody, and the melody is, the chords, whether there's like a lead line on top, some synth line or something like that. It is the music part. So not the drums, not the sound effects or anything like that, but just the music portion. Usually we find a really great melody and we loop it, right? We loop it a bunch of times. A lot of people use Splice. They go on Splice, find a melody, and then they just slap some drums on there. But I want to share something that has helped me immensely as a producer, and that is just sitting down with my keyboard right here and just banging out melodies, and forcing myself not to play any type of percussion or any type of drums with those melodies. And the reason why that is so important is because it gets you in a different mindset of, instead of like focusing on rhythm and drums and boom, boom, boom and bap all the time, now you're really focusing on chords, chord structure, how you can play some counter melodies along with the leads and the different melodies that you're doing. So literally I'll sit down, and instead of making beats, I'll just open up. I use FL Studio as my main DAW for making beats and producing. I'll open up FL Studio and I'll just go to a couple different synths, play around with some different sounds. I'll create a chord progression. And as soon as I get to the point where I feel like there's nothing else I think I can add on top of this, that is going to, improve it any further. Like, I don't want to, congest this like melody, this 8-bar melody that I made. I save that project, I export an MP3, so I know exactly what that project or that melody sounded like. I'll name it Melody 1, and then I'll just go on to a new one. And I'll play a game. I'll try and do as many melodies as I can within that session. And the number one reason why this is so beneficial. So the first reason is because it allows you as a producer to become a better listener. So especially if you play keyboards or if you play guitar or something like that. This is mainly for the producers who actually play instrument. It's going to allow you to expand your ear, because now instead of like going to Splice or different libraries and just trying to find a cool melody, which is totally fine, you are put in a position of having to create these things from scratch. And you'll notice that as you do your reps, do your melody reps, so you do 1, 2, 3, 4 different melodies, they're going to progressively get better and better and better. And we all know, like, when we hear a dope melody, it's like, yo, I got to create a beat on top of that. And by that, we mean like, yo, I got to slap some drums on there. So that is a cool thing. Number 2 reason why this practice is so important is because now that we have all these different melodies, say we come back to the studio tomorrow or a week from now and we're like, okay, what do we produce? What content do I have to pull from so I can continue to make some different type of beats and be creative? Now we have a whole list of melodies that we've created that we can go back to in our library and check out, and actually now slap on some drums. And now once we have the drums on that piece of melody that we created, now we can arrange the whole beat. And now we got a whole brand new beat off of something completely original that we made. And it only became as good as it did because we spent the time just focusing on building so many different melodies and getting in our reps and improving just building melodies. I don't see a lot of producers sitting down and just working on melodies. You know, everyone is about the drums and the percussion and whatnot, but the heart of any beat for most urban formats of music is that melody. So this is just another thing for you guys to think about as a producer. Like, sit down and just make some melodies for a day. You know, you don't have to force yourself to be like, yo, I have to complete an entire beat. You know, just make some melodies. Third great reason why this is such a great practice to do, just sitting down and making melodies, is because any melody that you don't use, you can totally package that and make a loop pack. So now you have tons of melodies that are just sitting here that I'm sure thousands of other producers would be inspired to hear and possibly, you know, create something with. So now you can package this, all these different melodies that you didn't use, put that in a package, sell it online on your website, wherever have you, Dropbox, download something, even give it away for free. But now you're adding extra value to other producers based upon, you know, something that you just sat down and did for, you know, just a couple hours of one day, making like tons of melodies. You know, and we know, like, when you make a beat, when you make a full-on beat, it can take a considerable amount of time, right? Depending upon, you know, the style and what type of, you know, energy you're trying to put into it. But making melodies is very quick, very simple, very easy. And it's just so cool to see the growth and see how you can hammer these out, and every single one just continuously gets better and better and better. So I challenge you, my fellow producers, to sit down and just create some dope melodies. Just focus on melodies. Do not worry about drums. Do this a couple of days and you're gonna see yourself as, in terms of the music that you're producing and the producer as a whole, you're gonna see yourself grow and just come out to the next level in your production. So those are the 3 reasons why I love on specific days just focusing on melodies, coming back to those melodies at a later date and using those to create beats. So I hope like that mindset and that idea is something that you can vibe with and gets ingrained in you, and that you can use and, you know, help you to become a better producer. Before I leave, again, it would be awesome for you, do yourself the favor of helping your mixing out. If you're someone who struggles with mixing, either like you just been watching YouTube videos and you just can't get mixing right, whatever have you, you just cannot get your mixes right. There's a bunch of steps before you even get to the mixing stage that you're probably missing out on, and you probably could do to improve your mixes once they get to the mixing stage. So I want you to download this guide. It's completely for free, my gift to you that I created for you. I have a link to it on my website, link in bio, so you can click that below to get that completely free guide. As always, comment below. Let me know your thought process as, you know, I share this, you know, part of my production, music producer life and story, and if you vibe with this concept of just sitting down and just building melodies. Have you done that? You know, have you done that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe to this channel because you don't want to miss the next gems or the next mixing videos or the next gems and talks that I just put out. You don't want to miss those. So to not miss them, subscribe, like this video, and I appreciate you guys always, family. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Sonic Gold Production.